Oh, well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, yes, those were the let me turn this light there. That isn't right. You know, the older you get, the more non-cooperative lighting becomes. Oh, okay, right there. I'm gonna stay right there the entire hour. That's a good look, right? Wait, no, too many pins. Okay. Anyway, good morning. I'm a little self-conscious this morning. I have to be honest with you. Welcome to the show. I'm Loren Michaels Harris, a stiff-necked Loren Michaels Harris, nonetheless. Yes, a couple nights ago I slept wrong. Um, we got some new sheets last weekend, Brian and I, when we went out for the first time since months ago, and we went to a farmer's market, and one of the booths had these great Egyptian cotton sheets, 1,800 red count. Thank you very much. Where's the bell on that? And we got them, so I guess they're so good that I just slept like I was a gymnast or something, and now I'm like this. I can't move it hurts. I'm not kidding. I had Brian trying to knead out the knot in it last night, and it hurt so bad I almost hit him, right? So anyway, if you see me looking a little stiff this morning, that's why. So how are you, and welcome to the show. Welcome to Bathrobe Moments. I'm so excited about today's show. I'm particularly excited about our guest, a young man who a lot of courage. And I remember trying to strap on that one 100 million years ago, and you'll know what I'm talking about here in just a bit. His name is Andrew Brooks, and you might remember his father was here just I think a week or two ago, Aaron, and he's writing a book and whatnot. But we'll get into that. Well, he had his moment in the sun. It's Andrew's turn today. I'm going to mix their names up. I already know it. Welcome to the show. She's filled to the brim today because I'm trying to do better and have only one cup during the show. So it's filled. I mean, look, if I could get it up to the camera, no, because I'll spill it. Hold on. Welcome, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo, and we're drinking a brand new flavor today. It is, are you ready for this? Creamy caramel. Mm, right? And of course, they don't taste, so we've already been down that road. They don't taste anything like the titles, but they smell like it. It's good enough for me. So that's the Bella Purpose you just heard ring. It means that when our guest or one of you throws something on the screen or it comes out of his mouth today, that is like, woo, that's a good one. You're going to hear that bell ring. It means now we show some love by throwing hearts and thumbs up and whatever on the screen. You can even go a step further, pay it forward. And because it's so good, you can start a watch party, invite a couple friends, get some more people here. Share what you know to be true and what's good. If you like it, they'll love it. I guarantee it. So good morning, all you beautiful people. And a couple things. No, I haven't been hearing much about Corona here in the last couple of weeks, and fine by me. But sometimes I check in. Today I checked in and I saw a couple things. Number one, I found out that my own state, the Republicans here in Illinois, are suing the state over that 10-person gathering cap. Um, I don't know. Come on, don't you have anything better to do? I'm just saying. Start with 10. Good Lord. And then also, we found out this morning that with the federal health megaphone virtually silent, I told you we weren't hearing much. A lot of states are beginning to struggle with the shifting numbers in the pandemic. There's some states that are starting to peak again. So just stay safe. Uh, Treat everything as if it's infected. I know that's a weird thing to say, but you should treat everything as if it's infected. Keep the protocol in place. Wash your hands a lot. Of course, keep your mask. All the things that have kept us safe so far. Keep it up. Keep it up for a little bit longer. Okay, it's just from me to you. So anyway, today, I love stories of courage, and when I watched a video that today's guest's father had shared with me, it just was overwhelmingly special. Let's put it that way. And I'm not going to waste any more time because we have to end on time today because Cedric Riley, who's out there watching right now. Good morning, Cedric. Thank you for popping in. I thought you'd be biting your nails and pacing a hole in the floor this morning. Why? Because Cedric's show debuts, premieres right after this show ends this morning. And I speak of the premiere of America's Next Motivator. Cedric Riley is your host, so tune in for that. Cedric, put the link in where they can watch your show this morning at the top of the hour. That's 9 o'clock Central, America's Next Motivator. So I know I heard a marching band coming down the street. It sounded like, so that can't be anybody but the Emerson College Marching Band. Oh, and there's a cheerleader now.
I have my invisible pom-poms.
Okay, right. I know one of my sisters when I was a kid was a pom-pom girl, and I picked every one of those things off of there. It was like I said, she'll never know. I was such a weird little boy, but weren't we all? So anyway, it was either her pom-poms or her pumps. I was messing with both of them. So anyway, welcome Andrew Brooks. How are you this morning?
I'm amazing. I got my coffee. I could not be more happy now. So.
Is that iced coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the new thing for you kids?
Oh yes, it's the gay thing, I guess now. Like
gay.
I don't even know.
What are you talking about?
For some reason, I've seen on social media like it's kind of like a joke now that specifically like cis white gays love their iced coffee. I don't know why.
Well, obviously it's true.
It's obviously true. I mean, it's true for me.
So are you drinking that coffee to like us old people do? Why we're drinking it to wake up? Or it's just a ritual in the morning, or is it just a flavorful drink?
So I last year I worked full time for a breakfast restaurant, and I had really early mornings. Coffee became fuel. So now I drink my coffee black with maybe a tiny bit of sweetener. So that's what 5 a.m. wake ups once a week will do to you. So
okay, and you know what? You are so lucky this is not Bathrobe Moments After Dark, and you're also lucky that your parents are probably watching because it makes me stay in my lane because I had a good one for that.
Oh, just girl, you can be so uncensored with me. Like, I'm just letting you know. Like, I talk about so much with my parents. We're so open with each other, and like, you can talk about whatever you want.
You really are.
You can say whatever you want. I'll joke around with you. It'll be great. You know what
well, start by telling everybody who you are, how old you are, what you're doing in your world right now, and then we'll get to why we brought you here today.
For sure. So my name's Andrew Brooks. I am currently going into my sophomore year at Emerson College studying marketing communications. What am I doing right now? Not very much.
Right.
I got sent back home in mid-March because of the pandemic. So I, got out of Boston real quick. Now I'm back in Chicago until I actually just signed a lease on an apartment for next month back in Boston. So I'm really excited about that.
So wait a minute. So you're going back next month?
Yeah, we're going back, but my school starts back up in end of August. But we got a good deal on rent if I were to move in a little bit earlier. So
I bet so.
Yeah,
I bet so. So what's happening at school? This is great. Straight from the horse's mouth. Are you guys going to be back on campus, you think?
Yes. So how Emerson's doing it is every school is different. A lot of schools are adopting a similar type of model like this, though. It's going to be hybrid campus. So it's going to be kind of half on, half off. Most classes are going to have like an online portion of the class, and then there'll be like lectures as well to go along with it, just to maximize the in-person experience and the experiential like learning, while also keeping like social distancing in place. Masks are to be worn everywhere on campus besides your room. They're doing daily symptom checks. So
Wow.
every day before you go tap into a building for the first time, you have to go on an app on your phone and just like fill out a questionnaire. If you have any
Wow.
if you have any symptoms,
Sure.
you can't go home. You can't go. And then they're totally overhauling their attendance policy. So they're doing a lot. They're dedensifying housing, finding alternative options, moving some students into hotels,
Wow.
and stuff like that. So they're
Wow.
working with hotels in the area. It's interesting for Emerson because Emerson is in the middle of Boston. Like it is
Right.
on the
Right
corner
in
of
the
where
middle of the
we're
city.
not, in the middle of the city. So we don't have very much to work with. So in terms of housing specifically, like we were already running low on it. So now having to break up like all triples and quadruples cannot be triples and quadruples. They have to be doubles. So they have to split all triples and quadruples into doubles and singles.
Which means they need a lot more space.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
It is very much. Oh, thank you for that. That's the first thing I've heard straight from a college student. I didn't, wow, wow, wow. So tell me, Andrew, so how does this make you feel going back? You've been talking to your friends, obviously, about what they're going to do and this, that, and the other. Are you guys excited just to be going back and seeing each other and being able to keep
Definitely. I mean, I've been talking about this a lot lately with my friends because it's coming up pretty soon. Sooner than I think. Like it's gonna come real quick. But
yeah,
I'm really excited. The plan seemed a little bit underbaked to me at first, and not fully thought out. But at the same time, I kind of cut Emerson some slack because this is a really unprecedented time. Even they don't have any knowledge of what to do, so they're doing their absolute best with the knowledge they have, with the people that they have in their corner, to make the best decisions for their students. So I trust them full-heartedly, and I'm personally just really excited to be back on campus.
I bet. So, hey, did you know any seniors from last year that didn't get to march across the stage and all that? What were they? How did that feel? Did they feel cheated?
To them, it was just very weird all around. Like I talked to a few different seniors from different colleges. I have a few friends at different colleges around Boston.
Okay.
And it's just, everyone was just like, it's just a really weird feeling because, we feel like we're done and this should be a celebratory time, but we're all in we're all in this weird limbo right now, and we don't really know like what's next. So it's just, all of them were very unsure. I get it. That's the word that's like the consensus word that I got from like talking to everyone.
Okay.
But of course, they were all still making the best of it. I also have a lot of friends in high school who are going into their freshman year of college next year. So that, I've also been talking to them. And again, it's just that similar theme of like, it's just weird, it's because this is a totally different way than anyone else has ever graduated before. So
I get it. And we're just, so proud of you guys, you kids who have just, I can't even imagine. My husband and I were talking about it just the other day, how we would have been hit. I said, Brian, what would you have done if this was like when we were graduating? Me and Nellie Olson, because I graduated with her out in Walnut Grove, Little House on the Prairie. That's how long ago it was for me. But he said it would have sucked. I would have gone absolutely. I would have been devastated. So I'm sure. I'm so proud that you guys have just acquiesced and become even better people because of this. My next question for you is this. So, inquiring minds want to know. A few months ago, was that thing on top of your head, just a little bitty like swoop, and because you couldn't go to the salon to get it trimmed or anything, it grew into that, and you just decided, I like this? Or is that purposeful?
This is kind of purposeful. It's usually a little bit more like kind of put together, but I woke up this morning to ran a brush through it. It kind of looked cute. So I was like, it's fine. But Yeah, this is like normal style, what I usually do. Actually, I had a full 3 months where I didn't cut my hair. So it
Okay.
was a little bit where I was
Right,
on the
right.
man bun look.
Me too.
So that was
I
interesting.
still haven't cut mine.
Yeah.
I don't have any. Hey, listen. So why don't you set up this clip we're gonna watch? Which was, as a matter of fact, my husband is a therapist and he teaches classes at University of New England, and he said he's going to actually use your video in one of his classrooms.
Amazing.
So that's pretty impressive. Thank you so much. Um, Set up what we're going to see. Tell us what it took to get to that day. Who encouraged you? Who knew about it?
Yeah.
And we're talking about you. Tell everybody what you did that day. What is this we're going to see?
Yeah, so the reason I'm really here is because back in 8th grade, about 6 years ago now, really crazy to think about it was that long ago.
Right.
But about 6 years ago, I decided that I wanted to come out in a more public way. I had already come out to my family. I come from a very supportive background. My parents are nothing but supportive of me and my sexuality. And that's how it's been since the beginning. I'm very lucky. So I got introduced to this amazing project where they said, write about anything as long as it's true. And you can perform it at the end of the year for our poetry slam in front of the entire class. And I was like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for me to come out to my class, because like I didn't want to have to be that person who like told each individual person and then they like spread it everywhere. And I just wanted to get it done. You know what I mean? Like I didn't do it for any other reason that I just wanted to live my truth fully and authentically. Like I didn't want to have to be in a box anymore. I didn't want to have to fake it till I made it anymore. I just wanted to be myself. Like
Were you afraid, Andrew, of backlash or bullying as a result
I
of doing
was,
it
at
on
the
such a
same
public
time,
forum?
I've realized in myself that if the real friends around me will be able to will know that I haven't changed as a person. I'm still the same person. Just because I'm gay doesn't mean that I'm any less of this Andrew that you knew a week before I told you. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
There's no difference. So I was worried, of course. Yes, of course. I mean, everyone is worried a little bit, but I knew I lived in a supportive community. I know my community is liberal. I knew it was going to be a pretty positive, reception, just because of
Yeah.
context clues in my community. But it kind
I,
of went a little bit more crazy than I could have thought in terms of
uh-huh.
like the response to
The
it.
response and what we're going to see here in a minute.
But the
And now,
people who supported me, I mean, my parents for sure. My English teacher, Louisa Benson, who was the best at that time. Like she was my literal, she was my rock. Like she helped me through the entire process, and she was so supportive of me. From the get go, the minute I told her, she was like, "Oh my God, this is the perfect idea. Like I'm going to help you through it all." So she was extremely helpful in that process as well.
so did you know, how'd you sleep the night before?
I don't even
You
remember.
you don't
Like,
remember? Well, then that's a good sign.
I
You're
mean,
not traumatized.
I remember so vividly. I was probably somewhere around the middle of the poetry slam, maybe a little bit towards the beginning, but like middle-ish. And I
Okay.
remember just sitting I was in the front row, and my palms were like so sweaty. I was like sitting next to this girl who, she went before me, and she was like, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous, and she was like, oh, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. And she like, 'cause no one knew except for like the few friends that I had already told.
Hmm.
That no one knew that this is what I was going to be doing.
So, what would your message be this morning to an ally, a family member, a parent, perhaps, or that kid, girl or boy, who's out there um, struggling with how they can let the world know who they truly are? Because the struggle is real. The struggle is real. And, we were watching Brian. There he goes. Hi, honey. We were watching this show called Hollywood last night, which is filmed. I think, honey, what decade was that, you think? The 30s, 40s? 30s, 40s, somewhere in there. And there was a gay storyline in there, and how they were so in hiding, even in the 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
And then even the 80s is when I came out. And I didn't give a damn though, so I wasn't scared. Well, I was. I'm lying. I was scared because I was really in my 20s before I did what you did as an 8th grader. So let's take a look at it. And what would you like people to experience as they watch this?
Just watch the shift in my face. That's the really a big moment when I really kind of let my emotions go. It's towards the middle.
Okay.
And that's like kind of the moment that I kind of realized I was free and I could just like be and not care anymore.
All right.
So yeah.
Here we go.
Now it's working. Okay. My name's Andrew Brooks, and my poem is called I'm Different.
I'm different.
There are some things I don't understand. Like why I'm told that being different isn't normal. Why I'm told that girls have blue, that guys have to like sports and girls have to like makeup, that guys have to like girls and girls have to like guys. That guys have to be muscular and manly and girls have to be skinny and pretty. But that's society, right? Well, what if I like pink, hate sports, and am feminine? Are you going to make fun of me or are you going to support me? Your response will define the type of person you are. Well, I think that I'm different and that's okay. 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 But you know what? Sometimes it isn't okay. I keep telling myself that it is, but I know deep down that it isn't because I know I will be made fun of by my peers and friends for being me, for being different. No one should have to deal with that because I know those types of people aren't real friends. A real friend will love me for who I am, not for who they want me to be. I'm different because I'd rather sing than play sports. I'm different because I'd rather hang out with girls than guys. I'm different because I wear makeup sometimes. Why do you care so much? Why do I have to worry about other people finding out about these things? Why do I have to conform to what society thinks I'm supposed to be? The answer is, I don't. I honestly don't give a crap about how other people see me or how other people think of me because it's not worth my worry. If I worried about that, I wouldn't be different. I would be just the same as all of the other teenagers. But again, I'm different. I don't conform to society's doctrines. I'm different because I'm not straight. And in some people's book, that isn't normal. And some people say that it is a sin and a disease. Some people say they can help me through this difficult time in my life. And those same people say that I can just pray the gay away. But one, thanks. I don't need your help in being me. I think I'm doing just fine. Two, I think I know who I am, so stop dictating it to me. And three, I can't just pray it away. I was just born that way that some people think is different, that word that people are scared of, different. Are you scared yet? And don't you dare say to me that God created you a certain way and God could never create anyone that way. Well, you know what? I'm that way. I'm homosexual and I'm proud of it, so take your So take your homophobic remarks and shove them straight up where the sun don't shine. I'm here to hear them. So shut your mouth. I'm different because I won't change for anyone or anything, even if it would make me cool or popular. Because my definition of those words is not to conform, but to resist. People who want you to change are just gonna, one, use you, two, laugh at you behind your back, and three, throw you out, leaving you feeling miserable and unwanted. I'm different because I won't let people treat me or my friends that way. If you mess with my friends, you mess with me too. Because I love each and every one of them, through thick and thin, no matter what, and unconditionally. And that is what I would call a real friendship. Yeah.
I'm proud of that. I'm different because I'm willing to come up here and say it outright. Do you have any idea how hard that is? I'm not different because I don't conform to gender binaries. I'm different because I'm never going to hide that fact. I will never like sports. I'd rather be on stage singing my heart out. I will wear makeup whether you like it or not. And I will hang out with my girlfriends because I can talk to them about all of these things and they won't laugh at me. They will support me and understand me. They will care for me better than any guy ever has. So you know what? I am different, and that's okay with me.
Okay, more of that happens. So, pretty powerful day in your life, huh? I don't think you'll ever forget that.
I haven't watched that straight through in a long time.
Yeah, it was really. You saw some of the comments I threw up on the screen as the audience says they were getting emotional with you. One thing I will point out, I bet you one thing, you're very grateful that that was one morning you didn't wear cheap mascara.
Oh yes, girl.
Right, right. So, now listen, talk about that thing. Did someone ever, were you ever really told to pray the gay away?
No, never directly.
But you're talking about your peers too, because you're one of the lucky ones.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you had friends, and here, this is what I'd love for you to talk about right now. A lot of people don't know about that secret room that a lot of kids who are struggling to do what we just saw you do on the screen, what they deal with, the cutting, the suicidal thoughts, because they don't have that support system that you've been blessed to have in the form of friends and family. So for those people that want to be, I don't think all those things that you warned about, that you were up there fighting to not conform to, speak to someone that might be inside that box and not understand it. Something that might help them to come out of that and become someone who's just accepting.
Just be educated, be willing to listen to others, and just be open to receiving. Don't shut people out because of your prior beliefs. Be willing to go the extra mile to understand what they're thinking and understand their point of view, because maybe you can learn something.
Oh, good point. Thank you for that. Hey, so how different was when I'm sure you remember your first day of high school, because you went right after that, right? Your next year.
Yeah, I mean, this was towards the end of the year too. So, I finished off 8th grade, graduated 8th grade. And I went into the summer I had some friends, but I was ready to make new ones in high school, because how it works in my town, there's at the time there was 3 middle schools and there's 1 high school.
High school, yeah.
So you get people from those other 2 middle schools as well.
Right. All coming together.
A lot more people.
So was the word out when you got there?
Oh yeah. After this, the response was so crazy and staggering. I put it on YouTube and it blew up pretty fast. And then I was, I don't know if any of you have heard of Melissa Foreman, You and Me This Morning, back over here in Chicago. Now she works with WEBZ, I think, one of the radio stations.
Okay.
But she had me on her show and we talked about what went on, and kind of like what we're doing now, but a little more, it was like a morning show. So
how does that make you feel, Andrew, that here we are 6 years later, and that day, that video, those words, that experience is still resonating with people. People are still saying, hey, can you come and talk about this? Because that means that there's still people that need to hear about this. How does that make you feel about that decision to get up and stand your ground that day?
I mean, again, I told you before, I wasn't planning on this having any effect on anyone but myself. I went into this solely I went into this kind of in a very, not in a selfish way, because of course this was about me. I was coming out. If there was any time for me to be selfish, it was this time. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like my utter lack of care for what anyone else thought of me translated to others empathizing with me and feeling what I'm feeling, and and understanding what it feels like,
Mm-hmm.
which is so interesting. And again, I didn't think this and this to happen. It blew up so fast. I had community members coming up to me for at least a year or two after, like in stores and grocery stores, Walgreens, like walking down the street, like people would stop me and be like, "Oh my God, I saw your video. Like, you like you're so powerful. Like you helped me through this." Or I got messages from LGBT people telling me how my video helped inspire them to come out. And I'm just like,
That's
wow,
awesome.
I didn't know that I could have that effect on people, especially at a
Right.
very young age like that. Like to know that I had that effect, I could have that effect on people really set me up for success going forward.
Oh, great point. And if you'd have known, it might have scared you, but it didn't. Listen, we're going to take a brief pause for the cause. And when we return, we're going to talk to our guest today, Andrew Brooks, about the difference. And first of all, I want to find out if there was any backlash from that day and any negative things, because where there's a positive, there's always some of that trying to rear its ugly head. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to find out what it was like his first day on campus as a newbie, and also if it was anything like it was in high school. We'll be right back. Okay, I told you we'd be right back, and we are less than a minute. How's that, huh? We're here today. In case you just joined us, welcome to the broadcast. I'm your host of Bathrobe Moments, Loren Michaels Harris, and my guest today is 19-year-old Andrew Brooks, who is going into a sophomore year at Emerson College in Boston. And we just watched the clip of when he came out in 8th grade, and it is still the truth never changes, and it never changes on us. That's the wonderful thing about the truth, Andrew. And I just love that video. I think you've left an imprint. That thing will be here long after when you're an old troll.
Definitely. Definitely.
Do they still use that term?
Oh yes, they do. Oh yes.
Are you serious?
What? Old troll?
Yes.
I've heard that before, girl.
Oh my God. Brian and I were laughing a couple of weeks ago. We were like, remember when we were young and beautiful and we would go out to the bars and stuff and we go, oh, you peek your head and you go, oh, we don't want to come here. This is not but a whole bunch of old trolls up in there. And we were like, oh my God, they pointed at us and say that now. Oh,
you know why though? Wait, you know why? Especially in like gay culture, like RuPaul's Drag Race has really brought that out, that old trolls thing, because I hear that on RPGR all the time, because there are a lot of like older queens who will like be talking in the workroom and they'll say those things about other girls or whatever, the drama, the whole thing. But yeah, so I feel like RuPaul's Drag Race has really paved the way for like
it really has. We watch
it. A whole other subject, but like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually wrote a whole 8-page research paper about that.
Did you really? Well, yeah, because it has done a lot for it. It really has. Now, listen, let's shift gears here for a minute, if we could. And when you started at Emerson, was it? I hear myself echoing. I wonder why. Let me turn this down. Okay. Oh, that drives me nuts. Do you hear me echoing?
No, I don't hear you.
Okay, I'll pretend that doesn't happen. So, hi, Christina Cash. Hi, Christopher, Valona, and everyone else. Brandy Drake. All the kids are here. All the children. So, listen. When you started school at Emerson, how different were you now as a person? Of course, you've aged and this and the other. You've embraced your sexuality. So, have you met any people at Emerson who still haven't come out?
No.
So now it's pretty safe to say that most kids, by the time they get to college, they're good.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I'm going to say specifically Emerson, to be exact. Emerson is one of the most LGBT-friendly schools in the country. It's actually voted one of the most LGBT-friendly schools in the country. So, which is amazing. And I actually didn't know that until I started going there. But one of the reasons I chose Emerson was because of their inclusivity and their LGBT presence on campus. it's actually kind of a joke at Emerson that the straight girls have no men because all the men are gay. And it's like it's really funny. Like, but it's also like, I mean, if you want to play in the stereotypes, like it's a theater and it's a arts and communication school, so like, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
then also at the same time, like Emerson pulls those types of people, those different types of people in because it's a very different type of school. It's not for the traditional type of student. It's very liberal arts based and oriented. So
Such a wonderful world we live in today in that aspect. And that's what we were talking about, my husband and I, how different it was. Even when we came out, we didn't step into the world that you get to step into, in nowadays when you come out. So how do you feel now as far as being empowered? Do you ever wonder what would it be like in my life if I had never come out, if I was still in the closet?
I mean, like I'd be a totally different person. Like I feel that decision that I made really made me into the person that I am today. The person that doesn't care, is extremely blunt, and just gives more of themselves to people than they get back sometimes.
Okay.
I would have it no other way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That is who I am. I really don't feel that I would have become that outspoken, extroverted person that I am now because I'm so comfortable with who I am and because I trust myself, and that's all I need to live now and to be able to have a thought, like.
And I do know. And another thing I know is that darkness that we all experienced back when we thought, what's wrong with me? Remember that?
Yeah.
I remember with me, it was the day my mom said, hey, she came into the living room where everyone was at, and she was like, who keeps tearing the underwear pages out of my Sears and Penny's catalogs? And I looked everywhere but at her. The gig was up. And but, I mean, it's funny now, but at the time, I thought I wanted to kill myself. I really did. And I think every gay kid has that brief passage or long-lasting moment where they wonder, can I do this? So, when you were still holding your secret, what do you think the darkest thing about that was? Do you remember that feeling of what were you most afraid of?
I mean, what most people are most afraid of, and that's not being accepted.
Not being accepted.
And like that was the thing I feared the most. I didn't really have very much of a problem accepting myself, and I know that's very weird to hear because a lot of gay men go through that acceptance period within themselves. Actually, my ex-boyfriend, who came from a very different upbringing than I did, like totally basically polar opposite. But he like had to go through a whole process to accept himself. Like, he grew up very religious. So he had to go through all of the Bible verses, dissect them all, make sure that like he understood what was happening in his mind. You know what I mean?
It's yes, I do know, because that's the world I came from.
Yeah. So it's very different. So for me, I had a lot of gay icons to look up to because I have been a YouTube kid since I was like 8 years old. So, I've been on in that digital creator space for a long time. And I followed a lot of amazing creators. At the time, like there was this boyfriend channel called Lush that I was a huge fan of, and I would watch their videos all the time. And they were a couple. They're actually not together anymore, but they were a couple, and they would post videos about like their lives, what was going on, stupid challenges, like stuff like that. And it
you can see how it was
something for me to look at and be like, this is what I could have someday. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's an important part. And this is one of the things. So thank you for bringing that up, because now I can speak to something I may have forgotten, which isn't hard for me at this age. But I remember it wasn't until I was probably, let me see, I was at USC, so it was probably in my mid-20s, and I met a gay couple, Tim and Lon, and they had a beautiful home at the top of Laurel Canyon. They had a huge, successful business and all these things, and they had all these friends. And I remember when I went to their home, I did not know until I saw that you could be like a real couple, that you could have a real life, that they had here we are running with the bulls on the wall. Here we are in China. Here we are at the pyramids, and they had real memories and real things. And I had up to that point, I had always thought that being gay meant going to the bars, and that's the extent of the relationship. Yeah, there's boyfriends and stuff like that, but I didn't know that there were gay people who had like marriages, even though it wasn't legal yet. And it changed my entire world. It really did.
Yeah.
It made what I was seeking uh change to what I have
For
today.
sure.
A lifelong soulmate. And I was so grateful for that example, because they were pioneers. There weren't a lot, or I'd have known about it. So really grateful for that. Now, I want to ask you how you feel about this. How has this changed? Do you feel, in your opinion, because you have a lot of girlfriends, is it easier for a girl to come out and be accepted than it is a guy?
I think it's the same. I don't think that there's that much of a difference, at least in my opinion. I was
That's good.
surrounded by a lot of lesbians growing up, a lot more than gay men, especially in my town. I don't know why. But it just
Something in the water.
I'm pretty sure all the gay men were closeted,
Oh yeah.
but because there were many. I mean, there had to be. I mean, I live it. There had to be. I remember talking about this with friends all the time when I was in high school, like being
Where
like,
are they?
"Oh my god, like there's
they're
so many
there.
more gay
They
men
go-
here than we think." You know what I mean?
That's right. That's
But
right.
There were
Because-
a lot more gay women who were out and proud of themselves. So
and they walk around town, but gay men will go out of town. Go on jaunts and things like that. So some of this stuff is still the way it is, because my husband's a therapist, but he's also a male Dr. Ruth. His PhD is in human sexuality. So a lot of people come to him, a lot of men who are trying to figure out, because they're in marriages and all kinds of stuff, and just desperately sad because of not having the courage to do what you did. So thank you for that, Andrew. Now, at one point of your poem, what we watched earlier, you said something about singing your heart out. And I see that you still do that. So we're going to cut to a clip of a group that you're a part of in Boston, known as the
Boston Gay Men's Chorus.
Boston Gay Men's Chorus. Set this up for us. What is it? What drew you to that? How many members are in it? What kind of things do you guys do? And what is it? What is it? Why would people? What can you say about it that can help people understand why we need our own men's chorus?
So I decided to join the Boston Gay Men's Chorus personally because I was extremely into choir. In high school, all the aspects of it. I was in choral singing for all 4 years of my high school career. I did state. I was a choral geek, even more than theater, which is saying something. So when I came to college, girl, yeah. So I came to college, and I was like, Emerson does not have a formal choir. They have a cappella choirs, of course, because it's college, but they don't have actual like formal choirs. So I was like, well, I've always wanted to join a men's chorus. The reason I didn't join Chicago was because I knew I was going to be leaving Chicago, so there was no reason for me to join CGMC. So I was like, all right, here's BGMC, might as well try it out. So I auditioned.
I'm going to say, so you had to audition?
I had to audition. I vibed really well with the director. He was an awesome guy. And I got it. And I'm the youngest member in the chorus, which is really cool. It's like
You're the youngest member?
I literally have 250 like gay dads to mentor me. It's amazing. Like, it's crazy. It's a gigantic chorus. Their network is insane.
You're really the youngest?
I'm the youngest, yeah.
That surprises me.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Yeah. Well, you're ahead of your time. That's what it means. Go. And
but
I mean,
it's amazing. I love BGMC. I love it. We do three shows a year. We do like a powerful show. We do a pride show in June, and then we do a March show as well. A Christmas show. I mean, and yeah, our mission is just to share the amazing arts of LGBT culture and Boston to our community and like the greater community because of our YouTube and stuff like that. We're reaching a much greater audience than we were able to.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look and give the audience today a little peek inside of the Boston Gay Men's Chorus. I'm excited about this. So take a look, everyone.
It wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it all went wrong, I stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah.
Wow. Wow. Who was hitting that high note? Was that you?
Not me.
Are you a soprano?
Oh no, girl. I'm a fun, fresh baritone.
That was incredible. And wow, what a great decision you made, I think, to be a part of something so wonderful. I think you're creating memories that will last a lifetime. So what's it like? Do you get advice and you've got 250 dads there. What do you get advice and things about do's and don'ts from them? And they look, I can imagine there's people in that chorus from every walk of life.
Oh
Do
God,
all kinds of things, right?
Yeah. I mean, the networking opportunity alone was too good to pass up. I mean, I've met so many people, and my network in Boston is so vast now because of BGMC. So yeah, I'm sorry, what did you ask me? I lost my train of thought.
Good. It's not just us older ones.
I got so happy about it. And then I was like, wait, what was I answering?
Oh my God. You just came up with something new. A junior moment. You just had a junior moment. You may coin that. I give you permission.
I'll coin it. I got it.
I got a better question. I was asking you about
I'm writing it down. Mental notes.
There you go. I wanted to know if you were getting a lot of support and like fatherly talks and stuff. Or you probably have somebody you can go to for just about anything.
Yeah. So how they do it is BGMC has a buddy system. So each time a new member comes into the chorus, they are paired with a veteran member. And that veteran member is there to show them the way through the chorus. There are a lot of things to learn in a short amount of time. We have a lot of different things we do, a lot of events we go do, and things like that, things that aren't technically in Boston. So they're your touch point for that. We every October we go out to Algonquin, Maine, and we do a retreat for our December show during a weekend. Your buddy is your point of contact for, I need help with rooms, or do you want to get a room with me, or I need a ride, stuff like that. They're your buddy, your touch contact.
Do you want to get a room with me if I only had a quarter?
Oh, girl.
Back in the day.
But yeah, so they have a really amazing, and then of course the social opportunities in general are
awesome,
amazing throughout.
Here's what I'd love to get into as we come around the last lap of this interview. I told you it would fly by. So Andrew, where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
That's a question. So first of all, in terms of career, I want to work in social media. I want to be a social media marketing like person. I want to do like a director or a coordinator. So, managing social media of a company, whether that be clothing company, entertainment. I have no idea what industry I want to go into yet.
Okay.
But I know that I want to be doing social for sure. So that is the goal. And then what else? I mean,
Here's a hint. I'll give you a clue.
shameless plug.
You can throw one out there if you have any.
Oh, shameless
If
plug.
anyone is looking for an intern next summer,
Oh yeah,
my phone number is-
if anyone is looking for an intern next summer, please. If anyone needs any help with digital or social media, I am here for you. My Instagram is at Andrew Brooks with instead of an X at the end. Please get in contact with me. My Facebook is just Andrew Brooks. So I'm not
There you
hard to find.
go.
So you can
There
find me
you
on,
go.
find me on Loren's page if you
See,
can't find me. So
Now you have 251 gay dads.
there you go.
See, one can never have too many. Trust me.
Oh no,
So-
never.
So, Andrew, I really want to make sure we don't leave today's experience without me truly stressing how important what you did that day was, and will continue to be. Seriously, and to keep doing that, keep being the true essence of you, because that's what we all strive to be. But you'd be surprised at how many people will live out their entire journey as someone other than their true self. And it's just one of the saddest destinations I could ever imagine. And so people like you who look over their shoulder and harness that courage to stand up and say to the world, I will not tolerate this anymore. I am going to be who I am, no matter what, is a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. So do you think you'll ever get married like I did?
Of course.
That's really something. And you're young enough. See, when this all happened for us, we were too old. Well, I guess not, but we have other things that we want to spend our older years with other than toddlers. Um, um, we'll wait for you to have kids so we can be like step grandpappies or whatever. But do you see what's it like to be able to dream like you can? Where you can get married and you can actually have children, and what happens when you see gay couples with the strollers and stuff? Because it's probably a very different experience than when Brian and I at the airport, we see it all the time, and we always go up and talk to them and just let them know what a beautiful thing we're looking at, and God bless you. What's it feel like when you see that?
It's the same feeling. I mean, I feel like even us younger generation gays are really realize the strides that our community has taken towards equality and towards being able to take your son or daughter on a walk with your husband, holding hands with him, is something that 10 years ago we couldn't do. So it's absolutely crazy. And I think that at least the educated among us LGBT men, or LGBT people in general, know that that people have paved the way for us to have a better life and for us to be able to dream big.
Yes.
And I feel like that's what it's all about, and it's about making sure that you thank those people and that you recognize that they really did it for you.
They really did. Now, those are the shoulders that you and I both still stand on today. But looking forward, as we look down across the promised land to a new promised land, give me one thing that you would like to see that you feel we can still do better with. What is the main thing that you'd like to see us work on to make life better for future generations of LGBTQ family members?
I'm going to use this to plug the Black Lives Matter movement really quick, because I really feel like the Black Lives Matter movement and the LGBT movement are very synonymous with each other. I mean, Pride was a riot. We all know that. It was started by a Black trans woman. We all know that. Or if you don't, you should. As a gay person, you should know your history, especially Stonewall. But
note to self, I have definitely been admonished. Thank you. Go on. Because I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because what I feel like we need to do better is to accept everyone no matter what you are. It's the Black Lives Matter movement is about all Black lives, not just some. We need to get better at accepting everyone regardless of who they love, their gender identity, their non-gender, anything.
Anything.
And people need to be more accepting and more loving of everyone, just in
So
general.
love and education.
Love
Hand
and
in hand.
education. It's all about being educated, all about being open to new ideas about your life.
I love it.
Don't shut yourself out. Be open to everything.
Thank you so much. And Andrew, can I get a verbal commitment from you to come back sometime during the next school year, maybe this fall when you're home for Christmas? Would you come back and give us an update on how things are going in your life? Because I, for one, would love to know. If you'd like to continue the conversation, the dialogue with Andrew, perhaps you have a young person that would benefit from an experience with Andrew. His connector is there on the screen. Please write it down, screenshot it, tattoo it, whatever you need to do. And remember, we are still losing young people at an alarming rate to suicide because they don't have the support system around them to be able to do what this young man, Andrew Brooks here today, was able to do in 8th grade. And look at the life he's able to live today. So it may not be your child, but listen, a child is a child. All children belong to all of us. And we need to be supportive and loving and educated, just like Andrew said. Andrew, I want to take this moment to say thank you so much for coming and sharing the wonderfulness that is Andrew Brooks. God bless you and continue being the blessing.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a blessed day. Stay safe now.
Bye.
Bye. So everybody, there we go. I'm looking over there. Don't forget in just a couple minutes to tune in for the premiere of America's Next Motivator, hosted by Cedric Riley. You can find there's a link in the comments how to watch that today, and or go over to E360 TV Live and watch from there. Or just Google Cedric Riley and follow him on all of his platforms. I'm Loren Michaels Harris. Thank you once again to my incredible guest today, Andrew Brooks. Love this kid, and big things coming from him. Guarantee you. Be open to this, you guys. In order to be the blessing, just find your way to the nearest mirror and look at that person. Because if you can't see the blessing, how the hell can you ever be the blessing? I'm Loren Michaels Harris. Join me here tomorrow when we're going to have a live beekeeper. Well, he's live, but he's going to take us to the beehives, and we're going to go all up inside with the bees and all that stuff. It's going to be a bathrobe moment first. See you here tomorrow morning, God willing, at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Be safe and have a blessed day.